Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, we explore the right of disposition, the legal rights to control what happens to your body after death, and how to make sure your wishes are honored clearly, respectfully, and without confusion. This episode focuses on the U.S. Virgin Islands, which include St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John, and Water Island. These islands each have their own character and culture, but they share the same legal structure when it comes to the right of disposition. And just like anywhere else, the key to control is documentation. In the U.S. Virgin Islands, you can choose who will handle your funeral, burial, or cremation by completing a written designation of person authorized to direct disposition of remains. While local regulations are guided by the Virgin Islands Code, Title 27, Chapter 1, funeral directors and mortuaries follow the same professional standards used across the United States, which honor written and notarized documentation of intent. You can appoint one person, called your designated agent, who has full legal authority to make all of your decisions about your remains and funeral arrangements. Once your document is signed, dated, and notarized, your agent's authority overrides that of your next of kin. This ensures your wishes are legally protected and carried out without confusion or interference. If you don't name a designated agent, the U.S. Virgin Islands follow a family-based hierarchy similar to most U.S. states. First, the person you appointed in writing. Next, your surviving spouse or domestic partner. Then, your adult children, a majority if there's more than one. After that, your surviving parents. Then, your adult siblings, followed by your next of kin under Virgin Islands inheritance laws. If no one is available or willing to act, a public health official or the Department of Health may take responsibility for final disposition. Timing is also important in the U.S. Virgin Islands. If a body remains unclaimed for 10 days, the Department of Health or local authorities may authorize burial or cremation. That 10-day window can close quickly, especially when relatives live off island or are traveling from abroad. Having your documentation in place ensures your chosen person can act immediately and confidently. If you're estranged or no contact with your family, this hierarchy still applies unless you've made a written designation. That means a relative you haven't spoken to in years could still control your arrangements. By signing a written designation of person authorized to direct disposition, you remove that uncertainty and ensure your wishes guide every decision. The Virgin Islands funeral regulations do not specifically address chosen names or gender identity. So if you go by a chosen name or your gender identity differs from your legal documents, include that information in your declaration. Write your preferred name, pronouns, and how you wish to be represented. Give copies to your designated agent and funeral home so your identity and presentation are respected your way. Now, before we close, let's talk about a few common mistakes people make when it comes to final disposition and arrangements in the U.S. Virgin Islands. First, assuming verbal instructions are enough. They're not. Your wishes must be in writing and notarized to hold legal weight. Second, not naming an alternate agent. Travel and emergencies can prevent your first choice from being available, so always appoint a backup. Third, forgetting to file or share copies. Keep one for yourself, one for your agent, and one with your funeral provider. Avoiding these mistakes ensures your wishes are carried out exactly as you intend, with clarity, dignity, and peace. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you understand how the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John, and Water Island handle the right of disposition, and why documenting your choices is the best way to protect your peace and your legacy. Conversations like this bring clarity, comfort, and control long before they're ever needed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more state-by-state and territory-by-territory episodes in this series. And check out the rest of my Right of Disposition playlist to see how laws differ across the country. I'm Bella, but this is your life, your legacy, and your choice, even after you're gone.